Hello and welcome. I'm delighted to be here with Colin today from GoCruise Travel. And because it's winter, I'm already thinking about places that I want to escape to. Colin, is your whole life filled with thinking about escaping and going on nice breaks?
Oh, absolutely. This is the perk of my job, and to see all these wonderful places and experience all the fantastic cruise ships. I'm freezing today, so I've got my layers on. I've got my little branded hoodie on. So I thought, well, I might as well be on brand today and to talk, hopefully about exciting things and holidays to come. But that's the world to me, traveling. So it definitely makes up for all these cold mornings.
Yeah, it's definitely a cold morning today. It's very crisp, isn't it? Well, love to know a little bit more about your franchise. So I've got a few questions that I'm going to ask you here. So the first thing I'd like to know is a bit about GoCruise Travel. Can you just give me a quick summary about what it's all about?
Yeah, of course. So GoCruise Travel has been operating for 22 years now, and we are a niche franchise operation, and we specialize in cruise. So it's all about the perfect fit for us, and we look for individuals who want to start their own business and sell all these wonderful products that we have around the world with all the destinations, holidays, and the cruising. And our model helps you achieve that and helps you achieve a really good living out of it. And it's a nice compromise to what you're potentially doing now, because you can do it part-time, you can do it full-time, and it can grow as much or as little as you want to put into it. um, the model's fantastic. You can work from home, and we have a brilliant support team in our head office that actually acts as like a bubble around you. So we can help you with all your administration with the booking, all the training, how to find customers, how to build customers, and all the knowledge that you need behind selling these wonderful destinations. But the best thing for me is actually you get fantastic rates to travel yourself. So it's a nice big bonus for you to jet off and enjoy a holiday, and then maybe even do some work while you're sat on a cruise ship too.
Wow, that does sound like a good perk. What are your core values then with GoCruise Travel?
Okay, so our core values are all about honesty, trust, and making sure, as I say, that we have the right fit. And the idea is to support our business owners, and we're all about making sure that we look after what we have, building the business and helping support you build your business as much as you want. We're not here to tell you how to do it. We're here to support, guide, and interest you in different ideas of where to build things and connect with customers. But as I say, it's all about making sure that the business owner is looked after, supported, and grown with our family. So that's our core values in regards to being connected to a wider family business, which we are with the Fred Olsen Travel Group. So I'm sure that's a popular name out in travel.
It is,
Um,
yeah.
and our, it's like treating people like family, and that's kind of what I endorse into my team, and I want then my team to endorse it into you.
That's lovely. Thank you. And I'd love to know what do you love most about the industry that you work in? I'm sure there's so many things, but what pops to mind?
I love the flexibility in the industry. I love the camaraderie. I love the passion, the people. I've been in the industry all my life. I actually went to college to to study law, and then I went to uni to start law, and it just didn't really tick any boxes. And then I suddenly found myself traveling overseas, and then I kind of got the bug and never turned back. So I think it's all about the social side and the people, because it's just infectious once you're into the travel industry. There's so many like-minded people, and it's just a wonderful environment to be in. I've had the pleasure of building my family alongside, and taking my children to some wonderful destinations which potentially they would never have seen if I wasn't in this position to do. So I think it's just really important industry, and I'm just very privileged to be a part of it.
Excellent. And what would you say? What would be an example of a success story for a franchisee?
Okay, so I'd like to quickly tell you two, because we've had two standout ones this year. So we've had a new franchisee who started about 18 months ago with us, and did the full training package, and we nurtured and helped grow the couple into developing a brilliant business working from home. His network grew exceptionally well, and that was through connections with like local coffee shops, garden centres, getting out and about and talking to people. And he kind of then got the bug for that because he wanted to do a little bit more face-to-face interactions with people and grow. So then we kind of had a look at the option of opening like a pop-up shop, and we tried a pop-up shop at a garden centre with him, and it took off immensely. He did talks, typically like the good old days when you went on holiday and went to your welcome meeting and had a presentation about the product and then connected and sold the trips. We kind of recreated that in the garden centre. And since then, he's actually opened a high street store in his local town, which is fantastic. And we've branded it as GoCruise Travel. We've supported him with all our amazing trade partners. And it's gone from strength to strength. And that's our first big one on the high street. So I'm really pleased with that. And our second one, we've actually had a franchisee who is he started when he was about 18 with his family, and he's then obviously grown and taken over his mum and dad more so into the business. And he's shone this year. He's actually got a couple of connections with a few different influencers, one in which that travels immensely, and has managed to put together a 400 passenger group from their followers, and actually been able to half charter one of the princess ships, which are absolutely massive, to sail around Alaska and to see some beautiful destinations in 2025. His business then skyrocketed, and he's actually our #1 franchisee this year, and making ridiculous money. So I need to go and work for him.
What a lovely story, and taking over the sort of family business as well. So it's not just something you're building for yourself. In theory, you could build it for sort of future generations as well.
Oh, absolutely. And this is kind of where, this is what's nice about our model. We're here to support, and nothing's ever a no. It's always a conversation. And I know that might sound really cheesy, but it works. And we look at options. And then if we try something and it doesn't work, we just go, okay, well, we tried it. We've given it a go. Let's see what's the next thing we can do. And ultimately, I think that's where in life you make connections with people in different arenas, and who knows then where that conversation goes. And I think that's what we've got to kind of be very flexible with this, certainly in the world we live in now, about how we do that, and where we connect and meet people. It's not as simple as that. They'll just buy off you. They've got to connect and support, and actually then having a little story behind it. So with the family business taking over, people love supporting local businesses, great stories, things like that. I'm always dropping in that my other half is a foster care, and we've got children at home, so we foster as well as alongside what I do here. And it just shows your character, and it just builds on what you do. And I think it's really important to showcase your background and the skill sets that you have.
That's lovely. Really, two really nice examples there, and I like the reinforcing the idea that you said before about it's family business, and you can run it as a family or with your family in mind, like you say, taking your children to incredible destinations that you might not necessarily go to. That's fantastic. Okay, how would you describe your franchise in 3 words?
Okay, in 3 words, our franchise is fun, flexible, and fabulous.
And you've used a lovely alliteration there as well.
Exactly. Well, this is it. I'm showing off all my skills from university, clearly.
Wonderful. I like that. Tell me about how your franchise is structured in terms of the support that you offer them. You've mentioned that a bit. How is that structured? Because they have a bit of freedom, don't they, to create their own ideas, like this chap just, doing a pop-up shop and then, moving on to a real premise. What sort of support do you guys offer your franchisees?
Yeah, so our support's really important, and I think this is what differentiates us against a lot of our kind of competition in the industry, because there are so many home working models that are available now. Certainly after the pandemic, everyone was popping up doing this, but our heritage really sets us in a good stead here, because it's all about making sure that we prepare and we plan at the start, and that we kind of grow as you grow with your business, and then we share all the tools and the success stories that we've had in place. and also the downfalls and the pitfalls that we don't want to kind of step back into of what's happened previously. But our support is all about centering around that person. So we have um, a like a weekly support line, which is on like normal working days. We have an out of office contact as well. So, always happens when there's nobody about at head office in a normal working time day. So we have an out of office to support all our franchisees. So there's always somebody at the drop end of the phone or a text message or a WhatsApp that we can help and support from our head office functionality. We do and support you with all your marketing. So that's a big tick. As well as all your administration when you're once you've made the booking and you've connected with the customers, we'll then do all the legalities, so you don't have to worry about any pitfalls or anything sending out that shouldn't have gone out. But I think the biggest support we have is the business development side and where you go, because the hardest thing is to find your customers, and that's what we always find, that we'll do an amazing training course, and we've got different varieties of training course depending on your experience and your background that you can choose from. And then once we've done that, you're at a high. So we want to keep you on that high. And then we offer like a 6 to 8 month program after that, where you can tap into us as much as possible. We'll never push you to do it because it's your business, but we encourage you to make the most out of what we're offering. And then we'll guide you and support you with different ideas. And then we'll kind of look at your surrounding area of where you live, what different contacts you want to do, whether online, socials, and then we'll help you grow that. And then once you kind of got your foot in the door with that and got a good, getting a couple of bookings under your belt and moving forward, then your confidence grows with it. And then we see a shift change. And it's certainly usually around the 8 to 12 months mark, we see a massive shift change. It's either that it's definitely for you or it's definitely not for you. And if it's definitely not for you, then we'll encourage different ideas and work with you to try to get you where you need to be and where you want to be. But if you take off at that point, the world's the oyster. And then, as I say, it's just looking at different options of where we can go and what we can do. And I think that's the best bit in regards to our flexibility, because, we have a structure, we're a proper licensed business with all our commercial offerings and everything like that you have. So you've got the nice reassurance with that, but also you've got your flexibility to run your own business under our brand.
Excellent. And with that flexibility, could potentially a teacher start the business while still teaching?
Oh gosh, absolutely. Yeah. So what we could do is that we could start as and when, and we can grow as much as you want to do. And we've got members who have got full-time jobs as well, and they offer it. They might do it in the evenings. They might then connect with their friends, family referrals, and then build as we go. And it's a nice thing to do alongside it, because it takes time to make your money out of it. So I would never want anyone to dive straight in and not necessarily have a little bit of a backup plan support certainly for the first year. But it's a nice opportunity where it can grow alongside it. And the teaching network's brilliant, because it might be something that you just drop into when you're having parents' evening or anything like that, or it could even be that there's something, a charitable event at a school that you're doing, and you might be able to showcase what you're doing with the business. And everybody likes to talk about travel and where they go on holidays, so it's a perfect opportunity. But starting whilst you're doing something else, that's absolutely no problem at all.
That's amazing. And if you wanted to, could you start the franchise with someone else? So could you do it with like a colleague, or could you do it with a partner?
Oh, absolutely. So we've got a nice mix. So currently we've got friends and families joining up. We've got families taking over businesses, like I mentioned. We've got husband and wife and wife, man and man. We've got all collections and all. We're open to any option. And to be fair, it usually works better when there's a couple of you, because if you want some downtime off, or if you're busy, if you're on holiday yourself, the other person can then pick up any messages of calls and things like that. And we can then set it up for both of you on our contract agreements and things like that. So that's absolutely not a problem.
Excellent. So I'd like to know personally, where's the best place you've been on a cruise and why?
Okay, so my best place I've been, I'm an absolute Greek addict. I've been going to Greece for many years, as from a little boy. My mum and dad used to take me, and we went on a cruise which stopped at the beautiful island of Santorini. I absolutely then fell in love with the destination, and the photos don't actually do it justice. With the beautiful, white formations, with the buildings and the stunning scenery. But I have to admit, I'm literally a Greek bod and a European bod. My farthest, like, far-flung destination that I've been to, I absolutely love the US, and I love Tennessee. So we've been there quite a few times, and it's a bit of an interesting place to go. We've been to Dolly Parton's Dollywood, and the kids absolutely loved it. So it was completely off the beaten track, and we stayed on a horse ranch. So it was a complete experience that I definitely would recommend doing. And actually then having a little drive around the US is unbelievable to see. But there is just so many beautiful places, and I think that's the biggest benefit of a cruise, and that's the easiest thing to sell to customers, is that you can see so many different places on one holiday. And the biggest stigma around cruises is that you're going to get sick and you're going to feel every motion, and yes, you do feel the ocean, but as long as you're then, there's so much activities, choice, and things that you can do on board is brilliant. But seeing all these wonderful destinations is unbelievable, and it's those memories that stick in your mind, and that you're always going to remember.
Mm-hmm. And as a franchisee, how much do you sort of stay in touch with the people, like during their time on the cruise? Is there an aftercare service that you offer, or do you just set up the cruise and that's it, you let people go?
So it depends on the customer, really. So what we kind of offer, once the customer's made the initial booking with the franchisee, the rapport will have been built, because obviously they've trusted them to book the holiday and to pay the money. And then the nice thing we encourage them to do is to keep in touch at different touch points, because it might be that when it's getting closer to their travel date, and they might want to drop in like a little fact sheet of random things that they can do in destinations, what they can do on board the cruise ship, and just some top tips to give them a bit more of a personal experience that they wouldn't have just got from any travel agent. And then we definitely recommend them to make touch with them after their cruise or their holiday to check how they've had a nice time, and hopefully then they're on a high after the holiday, they want the next one, so then they're inquiring about the next one and moving forward. But we do have some brilliant partnerships with all our cruise lines, and because we're a cruise specialist, if a customer goes on board and they absolutely love it, there's always the opportunity to book on board with the cruise lines. So what we have in place is that if they book on board, the booking automatically bounces back to the franchisee who's made the booking. So it's like a win-win, really. It's like a free holiday without them doing reselling, and then they get the perks of the commission off the back, but the customer then stays loyal. So we definitely encourage franchisees to pick up the phone before they go and say, don't worry, if you find a brilliant deal on board and you love it so much, book it. I'll be able to service it and look after you as I've done with this holiday. So don't feel like you're being disloyal by booking direct with a cruise line. We recommend it to do, but it's just all about them relationships that you have with people, because you ultimately I'd probably say a good 45% of the franchise business in general is repeat business. So once you've got that customer, you don't need to have hundreds and hundreds of people on your database. It's just those core repeat ones who love you, trust you, want to obviously connect. And then it's quite nice that we start seeing then friends and family or the next generation then book with that franchisee to follow on, because they've obviously made that recommendation of their service that they provide.
That's really nice. So it's really about building strong relationships. So those communication skills, and that sort of empathy that you have with people. And teachers are quite good at that, aren't they? They do. You have to build a rapport with your class all the time, and with the parents, like you mentioned, parents' evening before. So teachers would be quite good at this, I think.
They'd be a perfect fit, because obviously I've got a lot of interaction with the children that I have, and the children that we foster as well. So we're new, we're talking to different teachers all over the place in different schools and things. And I applaud you with your patience, because I think it's absolutely amazing. I feel I've got good patience with the children in the house, but it's it must be amazing to have like 30, potentially 40 children in a class to manage, and then to deal with the parents on top, which I'm sure is another challenge completely. But it's it's a real perfect fit, because it's nice to have that credential behind you of an established career, and people trust instantly certain careers. So they trust doctors, firefighters, teachers, the healthcare. Instantly people are trusting that background, so you've got that already established behind you.
Wonderful. And lastly, I would like to know, what is your vision for the future for GoCruise and Travel?
Okay, so our vision certainly this year was to kind of redefine us as a brand out there that's got the quality values at the heart of everything that we do. And I think next year and beyond is about strengthening that, building our reputation. And as I say, I know I've said it a few times, but it is all about having the right connections with people and making sure that people that sign up with GoCruise and Travel, love it as much as I do, and that we build and we grow. And we help shape our business partners and look after what we can do for them, because it's all about them really. And I think that's what makes the big difference. We're not going for hundreds and hundreds of people. It's just about having the core people that we can actually support and do well at, because that's exactly what we're in it to do.
Wonderful. And if teachers are keen to learn more about GoCruise and Travel, what's the best thing? What's the sort of next logical step for them?
Next logical step is have a good read on the site. Our prospectus link is embedded into the site, so have a look at our prospectus, because I've kind of showcased everything in there that you could possibly need to know. Then please reach out to me. My contact details are on the page, so or drop me an email at colin@gocruiseandtravel.co.uk, and I can then have a conversation with you. Then we can do maybe a Teams call, meet up. And then we can get you set up and started. Is really straightforward, and then planning in the training around when it's best for you, and then we can help grow your business. So we're really easy to do business with.
That sounds perfect. I will put that link in the comments as well below, so everyone can have a look. Colin, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you taking time out to talk to us about your franchise business and helping us to get to know it a little bit better, and to see, hopefully out there's some people who love travel, love communicating with people. This could be a perfect fit, couldn't it?
No, fantastic, and thank you for the time, because it's been great I like to talk, so it's been good to showcase our brand. So thank you ever so much.
Thank you so much, Colin. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.